Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kuru Me Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada. Om Shri Mahaganapataye Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Asmadgurubhyo Namaha. Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Padam Shankaram Loka Shankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishwaro Guru Ratmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavat Vyapta Dehaya Dakshina Murtaye Namaha. Om Shri Medha Dakshinamurti Swamine Namaha. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhita Mastuma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Satchidananda Rupaya Krishnaya Krishnakarine Namo Vedanta Vedyaya Gurave Buddhi Sakshine Krishna Dvaipayanam Vyasam Sarvalokahite Ratam Vedabja Bhaskaram Vande Samadhi Nilayam Munim Sahasramurte Purushottamasya Sahasranetranana Pada Baho Sahasranamam Stavanam Prashastam Niruchyate Janmatharadi Shantyai. Namaste once again. Namaste everybody. Namaste. Namaste. Sattvavan Sattvigas Satyah Satya Dharma Parayanah Abhipraya Priyarhu Arha Priyakrit Priti Vardhanah. This is the sloka which we are seeing the meaning. And the last class we saw the meaning of Satya. Bhagavan's Nama is Satya because he is the one who sustains the Satpurushas, the Dharmic people. Then we just started seeing the meaning of Satya Dharma Parayana. When I realized that I won't be able to complete it, so I said we will continue in the next class. So Satya Dharma Parayana means the one committed to truthfulness and righteousness. Satye Yatha Bhutartha Katane Dharme Cha Chodana Lakshane Liyate Iti Satya Dharma Parayana. Satya, as I said, here is Yathartha Katana, not any object, any vastu. The capacity and care to sift material in order to find out the truth without jumping to conclusion is called Ritam. Because in the language, if you see, as I told you in the last class also, there are two words used, Ritam and Satyam, which more or less have the same meaning. But then, like I said, Ganesha Atharva Sirsha, Ritam Vachmi, Satyam Vachmi. There are two expressions, two mantras. Ritam Vachmi, I am telling Ritam. Satyam Vachmi, I am telling Satyam. So when these two things are coming together, obviously there should be some difference between these two words, Ritam and Satyam, in terms of their meaning. So what is Ritam? Ritam is that capacity to carefully sift the material in order to find out the truth. So Ritam requires a lot of patience. It is aimed at finding the truth only. And after finding out what is rhythm, what is the truth, after doing this analytical exercise, what is spoken is Satyam. So Satyam is what? Satyam is the truth which one has discovered himself. It is not that somebody told me something, this is Satyam, and I just go on propagating that to everybody as Satyam. That is not Satyam, because the person who told me, whether he had actually taken the trouble to find out the truth, we do not know. What we say, hearsay. Hearsay is not Satyam. That is why hearsay is not accepted as evidence in the court of law. So this is the subtle difference between Ritam and Satyam. And what is Dharma? Dharma is knowing what karya, what are actions to be done, and what is akarya, which are not to be done. And again, when we are talking about karmas, we have seen nitya karma, naimittika karma, and all that. So dharma again means knowing what are the karmas to be done daily, what are to be done on special occasion, and at which time and place, and what is the appropriate karma to be done. Since Bhagavan is committed to Satya and Dharma, as we have just now understood the meaning of Satya and Dharma, he is Satya Dharma Parayana, committed to Satya and Dharma. And in order to demonstrate it, we can see that in his avatars as Sri Rama and Sri Krishna, where he shows himself to be Satya Dharma Parayana. And we invoke the Lord as Satya Dharma Parayana because we want to be Satya Dharma Parayana, committed to the value of Satya, speaking the truth and living a life of Dharma. This is what all spirituality is about. The first steps, one should be very clear. I must have value for truth and I should only speak truth. I should have value for dharma and I should lead a dharmic life. All other sadhanas will come later only. These are the initial things one needs to commit oneself to. So our daily prayer should be that our mind be impelled to make the right decisions and do the appropriate and right actions. Because everyone is what he is because of the decisions, the choices that he makes in his life. As we have experienced, there are many situations which are unfolded over which we have no control. There are many unknown factors, and these are called what? Hidden variables. One has no control over these. So a prayer is required to help us face situations properly and also to make the right decisions. How do we do that? By invoking the Lord as the one who burns our confusions and ignorance. And this helps to set our mind in a proper track, which leads to proper and successful decisions. The decisions which will make us do the right choice, do the right actions, make the right choice and do the right actions. And finally, we need to pray that in any situation, we should have Bhagavan's grace to understand what is true and what is not true. And when we have to speak, to help us speak the truth. The whole essence of Gayatri mantra is that only. Bhargo devasya dhimahi dhiyo yo na prachodayat. In fact, speaking the truth also has got lot of challenges. One should always speak the truth. But if there is any situation whereby speaking the truth has the potential to cause himsa, then Shastra says, better keep quiet. Truth should be spoken with love. If you cannot speak the truth, which will convey love and compassion, Shastra says, you need not speak the truth. Satyam bhruyat, priyam bhruyat. Speak the truth, but speak it with priyam, with love. Na bhruyat satyam apriyam. If the truth is bitter to the person, other person who is listening, na bhruyat, you need not speak at all. That does not mean you should speak a lie. It says na bhruyat satyam apriyam. So this should be our prayer, because for all our choices that we make, for all our actions we do, we constantly require the grace of Bhagavan, the blessings of Bhagavan. So we should invoke the grace and blessings through our daily prayers. Satya Dharma Parayana. Then Abhipraya. Abhipraya means the one who is sought or approached. Abhiprayate Purushartha Kangshibihi Abhimukyena Pranayesmin Praiti Jagat iti va Abhipraya. He is Abhipraya, the altar of prayer of people who want various ends to be accomplished. There are endless ends that people want to achieve. Shastras divide them into 4 categories, 4 Purusharthas, as we have seen. So we have to pray to the Lord for all our desires to be fulfilled. Many people say that, why should I pray? Bhagavan knows everything. He is Sarvajna. He will give me without my asking. So, such ideas are, as Pujya Swamiji says, foolish ideas. In spite of his knowing, we are in a situation, isn't it? Bhagavan knows. Why can't we say that our situation is also knowingly Bhagavan is presented to us because of our karma phala? And prayer is a karma, like a japa, meditation, ritual, etc. And like any karma, it produces karma phala, results. And the results can both be drishta phala and adrishta phala. So since we approach the Lord for the fulfillment of our desires, he is called Abhipraya. He is the altar of our asking, and he has to be invoked properly. He is Abhipraya also because Jagat Abhimukhyena Praiti. Again, there is another meaning. Adi Shankara takes Abhimukhyena Praiti Abhipraya hai. During Pralaya, all beings go towards him. Abhimukhyena, towards him. And that is why also he is called Abhipraya. Then Priyarha, the one who deserves to be loved. Priyani Ishtani Arhati iti Priyarha. The word Priya means love. And Bhagavan is the altar of our love. In fact, he is the only altar of love. Because when something makes us feel secure, makes us feel adequate and happy, that frame of mind is called Priya. And that object becomes an object of our love. And if this is so, then Bhagavan is security itself, adequacy itself, and hence he is the object deserving all love. Therefore, he is Priya Arha, deserving our love, and its expression is in the form of worship and offering to him. In fact, we express our love to Bhagavan in so many ways. The simplest way, of course, is that we do daily puja. But then there are many people, they will actually decorate the idol with beautiful dresses, with ornaments. It's all expression of love. The Vishnu Dharma Shruti says, Yadyadishtatamam loke yachasya daitam grihe tattat gunavate deyam tadevakshayam ichchata. That whatever is most desirable in the world and most cherished in the house, like one's wealth, possessions, and one's own body, mind, and sense organs, they should be offered to the Lord by one who desires welfare and property. So how do we express the love? By offering what all we think belong to us to the other person. So we offer all our possessions to the Lord, and all that we pray is, please bestow, take everything I have, Bhagavan. Bless me with welfare and prosperity in all meanings. It's not only material welfare and prosperity, also spiritual welfare and prosperity. Priyararha. Then Arha, the one who deserves worship. Swagata asana prashamsa arghya padya stuti namaskaradhibihi puja sadhanehi pujaniya iti arha. The entire Shodashopachara Puja, Adi Shankara says it in one word. Swagata asana prashamsa arghya padya stutihi namaskaradhibihi puja sadhanehi pujaniya iti arha. So Bhagavan is Arha, the only one worthy of puja, the only one worthy of praying to and asking for fulfillment of our desires. Of course, The various devatas can also be prayed to, but they have their powers of fulfilling the desires only because of Bhagavan. Because they are empowered by Bhagavan in their respective area of activity to fulfill the desires. So we go to the headquarters straight away. And the proper way to do puja to Bhagavan is what we call Shodashopacharaihi. He has to be worshipped with various steps of a puja as given in the Shastras. Excuse me. Then the next nama is Priyakrit, the one who does pleasant things. Na kevalam priyaraha eva kintu stutyadibihi bhajatam priyam karoti iti Priyakrit. So not only is Bhagavan worthy of our love, but he is Priyakrit too. If you take one step of love towards Bhagavan, he takes one big step towards you. Again, he is the one who makes you love something. The more there is understanding of Ishvara, there is more love for fellow beings. In fact, there is love for the entire world. When your heart is full of Ishvara, it opens up, because what is there is only Ishvara, love. That is why repeatedly it is said, bring more and more Ishvara into your life. Fill your heart with only Ishvara. Then Priti Vardhanaha, the one who increases the love. Teshameva Pritim Vardhaiti iti Priti Vardhanaha. So not only does he make you love, but makes the love that you have grow into limitless love by worshipping the Lord. So the more you worship, the more love grows. Hence he is Priti Vardhanaha. The next shloka. Vihaya Sagatir Jyotihi Suruchir Huda Vibuhu Ravir Virochana Suryaha Savita Ravilochanaha. Vihaya Sagatihi Jyotihi Suruchihi Hudabhuk Vibuhu Ravihi Virochanaha Suryaha Savita Ravilochanaha. 10 namas are there in this shloka. By completing this shloka, we would have completed 885 namas out of 1000. Only 115 to go. Vihaya Sagatihi, the one who moves in space. Vihayasam Gatirashrayo Asyeti Vihaya Sagatihi Vishnu Padam Adityo Va. Vihayasa means Akasha, the space. Space is so called because it allows things to travel freely without any hindrance. That which has its gati, movement, in the Vihayasa is the sun. And it is Bhagavan alone who is in the form of the sun, moving in space to keep the world warm and bright. Of course, people will question. We know that sun doesn't move. It is fixed. So how can you say it is Bhagavan who makes the sun move? Of course, experientially, the sun appears to move, but what actually moves is the earth. The earth also is moved by Bhagavan only, because the earth also has a movement, it has a gati, and it is also moving in space. So the earth also can be called Vihaya Sagatihi. Another way to look at it is, the sun doesn't move with reference to the earth, with reference to the planets. But all terrestrial bodies, all cosmic bodies are constantly moving. Our Milky Way, our solar system is also constantly moving. So along with that movement, sun is also moving. That way also we can take the sun as Vihaya Sagatihi. And the movement of the sun is required to keep the world warm and bright. And it is because of the sun that the whole world is blessed. Life exists. Therefore, we must very carefully understand, not get into argument. Purpose of here, the purpose of this nama is not to point out whether sun is moving or not moving, but just to point out the care of Ishvara, who in the form of sun is a blessing in motion. And that blessing is recognized by the entire world. No part of the world is denied that blessing. Then next is Jyotihi, the one who is self-effulgent. Swatayeva dhyotate iti Jyotihi. Narayana paro jyotirhatma iti mantra varna. Narayana Upanishad. So in the form of sun, he blesses us outside, and in the form of Jyoti, the self-effulgent Atma, he blesses us inside. As the self-revealing consciousness, as the Jyoti Swarupa, he blesses the mind and the senses, being the eye of the eye, the ear of the ear, and the mind of the mind. Therefore, inside, he is a blessing as the Pratyagatma, and outside, he is blessing in the form of the sun. But both are one and the same. Sa yaschayam purushe, yascha savaditye, sa ekaha. Taittiriya Upanishad says. He is the one who is Pratyagatma in the body, in the individual. He alone is in the form of the sun, and both are one. Sa ekaha. So Jyotihi. Suruchihi, the one who has blessing desires. Shobana ruchihi deeptihi ichchava asyeti suruchihi. Ruchi means, ruchi has 2-3 meanings. One meaning is desire, or it can also mean taste. It can also mean splendor, lustre. So what is the ruchi or intention of Bhagavan, desire of Bhagavan? What is his idea? What is his desire? His ruchi is Shobhana. And Shobhana here is one of blessing. Well, the desire need not always be fulfilling some personal ambitions or intentions. It can also be pure, free from all these things. And the desire of the Lord is just one of blessing this world. And therefore, he is Suruchihi. The very desire to create the sun and so on is merely one of blessing that. The entire creation is nothing but blessing of Bhagavan for all the jivas to not only exhaust their prarabdha karmas, but also provide them with an opportunity to become birthless, to escape the cycle of punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam. That is what Bhagavan's creation is all about. Just a blessing. Or we can say, taking the meaning of luster, splendor, etc. We are just now saw Swayam Jyoti. He is Suruchi, one with great luster and splendor, self-shining. So he is Suruchi. Then Huda Book. Huda Book means consumer of oblation. Samasta devatodeshena pravriteshu api karmasu hutam bhunkte bhunakti va Huta Book. As we know, in the various rituals, all oblations meant for different devatas like Indra, Soma, Varuna, Prajapati, etc. are Huta, offered into Agni, the fire. So fire is called Huta Book because fire consumes the offering and takes it to the respective devatas. But Bhagavan, being the Atma of all, is the one who consumes all oblations. Sarvadeva namaskara keshavam prati gacchati. To whichever devata we offer the oblations, it all goes to the main treasury of Bhagavan only. He is the one who finally receives it. So he is the final Huta Book. But now the question is, does Bhagavan require any oblations? Bhagavan doesn't desire any, require or desire any oblations. But we, because of our Shraddha, whatever oblation is offered, that becomes a blessing for us. Hutam Gunakti is the one who protects the offering, the offerer. Protection is seeing that the offering does not go waste, but becomes fruitful. Because whenever we offer anything to Bhagavan, definitely there is a result for that. And once that offering reaches Bhagavan through Agni, the offerer will certainly receive the blessings. In fact, the offering may be small, but the blessing that we get may be grand blessings. Puja Swamiji gives the example of a coconut tree. A coconut tree consumes small quantities of water that we offer, but it gives back not just one fruit, but bunches of them over the years. So too, Bhagavan remembers what is offered to him and then gives us the result, which is multifold, and even that is a blessing. Huta Book. Then Vibhuhu, all pervasive. Sarvatra Vartamanatvat Trayanam Lokanam Vibhutvat Va Vibhuhu. The word Vibhuhu, the derivation is Vividam Bhavati iti Vibhuhu. What is Vividam Bhavati? Bhagavan is manifest in manifold ways as varieties of things and beings. We just have to look around the kind of varieties that we experience. He is in and through everything and also the Lord of the worlds. His manifestation is not stereotyped. The whole universe with its varieties of flora and fauna is an amazing blessing of Bhagavan. Then Ravihi, the one in the form of the sun. Rasana datta iti Ravihi adityatma. Rasanacha tatadanat Raviriyabhidiyate. Ravihi yabhidiyate. Iti Vishnu charmottare. Adi Shankara's, what all he has studied, only he knows. From where all he brings quotations. We have not even heard of such texts. Vishnu Charmottara. So as the sun, he is called Ravi. The word Ravi can be derived as Rasan Adate, the one who takes the rasa, the water. Well, water is taken from the ocean, it goes back to the ocean in the form of rain. As the sun, he energizes the earth, takes the water and gives it back as rain, which is necessary for life. No amount of watering the plants can equal what the rains can do. Forests are sustained because of rain. They're called rain forests. Nobody waters them. And most importantly, if you notice, the sun is located in an ideal place, because if it is 1 degree more or 1 degree less, little farther or little closer, life in earth will not survive that. So he is Ravihi. Virochanaha. Vividham rochate, the one who shines in many forms. He is Virochana because he shines in various ways. Not only does he shine in the form of sun, but also in the form of moon and also in the form of various other luminaries, like stars, fire, etc. And it's not only heat, but the cool rays of the moonlight are also important for the nourishment of the plants. So depending upon what is required for sustenance of life, he shines accordingly. Vividham rochati. So he is Virochanaha. Just now we saw the Nama Ravi. Now there is another Nama Surya. But here Adi Shankara takes a different meaning. Surya means the one who creates the world. Sute Triyamiti Suryo Adnirva Surya. Sutehe Suvaterva Surya Shabdo Nipatyate. Rajasuya Surya iti Panini Bachanat Surya. Brilliance. He interprets the word Surya grammatically to give it the meaning as the one who creates the world. Sute Triyamiti Suryo Agnirva Surya. He is Surya because in the form of sun, Sarvam Sute, he produces, yields everything. Shriyam Sute produces wealth. Wealth in the form of agriculture, because agriculture is the basic wealth. The real wealth is only agricultural wealth, because that is what helps us to live and be healthy. Whatever amount of money that we have got or other material wealth we have got, that cannot give us a healthy life. With that money, we will have to ultimately go and buy healthy food and eat that. Then only we will have a healthy life. Therefore, the real wealth is agricultural wealth. In fact, if this wealth alone is there, other form of wealth can be produced. And for this wealth to be there, the sun must be there, seasons must be there, rains also must be there. Thus, as Surya, he energizes and makes it possible for all types of food, for all forms of life, and all forms of wealth to be produced. In fact, in olden times, there were only two forms of wealth. They were considered as wealth: cattle and land, agricultural land, agricultural produce. Then the another meaning it takes, Suvati iti Surya. He is the one who impels and makes all activities possible. The various external activities as well as the internal activities of all living beings are based on the external clock and the internal biological clock, which are dependent on the sun. This is a very, very important aspect of the cosmic order, which many of us fail to understand and use it to our benefit. Our internal biological clock is also driven by the sun only. Therefore, if you are a healthy person means having also healthy habits like sleeping at the right time, eating the correct food, eating at the right time, going to sleep at the right time. If you do all these things, you will automatically wake up. Your internal biological clock will give you an automatic alarm that before the sunrise, you will wake. This secret people knew, and that is why in olden times, people used to wake up early in the morning. But today, unfortunately, we ignore this secret or we are unaware of this. And when we say that we want to be as close to Ishvara, we want to bring more and more Ishvara into our life, what does that mean? We want to lead a dharmic life. What does it mean practically? It practically means observe the cosmic order. How the whole cosmos functions. Align your own lifestyle as closely as possible with that. That is what a dharmic life is. Therefore, this is one of the most important aspects one needs to understand in the spiritual journey. It's something to be practiced by everybody. It's not just an intellectual knowledge. Oh, okay, I know this is how it is. In fact, if you observe the entire all living beings, birds, other living beings, other than human beings, many of them closely follow this. If you are an early morning walker, you go for a morning walk early in the morning, you will find that already some birds in the trees have already woken up and they are all chirping. Such a divine, wonderful thing. And you feel that guilty. Oh, I am late. See, these birds, they have woken up earlier than me because they follow the cosmic order. Before the sunrise, they are all up and awake. Therefore, when the sun is up, living beings wake up from sleep, and when the sun sets, they also wind up and go to sleep. Thus, as the impeller of varieties of activities of all living beings, he is Surya, the main factor which provides energy and creates the food cycle. Again, all this is a blessing only. That Savita, next nama. Sarvasya Jagatah Prasavita Savita. Prajanantu Prasavanat Saviteti Dighadhyate iti Vishnu Dharmottare. See, we have seen namas Surya, Ravi, Savita. Generally speaking, all these refer to the sun only. Savita also means sun. But this is the brilliance of Adi Shankara, that for each nama, he brings out different meanings. And all related to the sun only, again. Different aspects of the sun he highlights through his bhashya. So, as the upadana karana of this jagat, material cause of this jagat, Parameshwara is Savita, the one who has given birth to all. Or in the form of the sun, in the form of the solar system, he has given birth to this jagat, the world of people, the world of life. Therefore, he is Savita. To different aspects, different ways the sun blesses this world. Bhagavan in the form of sun blesses this world is explained here. Then Ravilochanaha, the one who has the sun as his eyes. Ravilochanam Chakchurasyeti Ravilochanaha. Agnir Murdha Chakshushi Chandra Suryav iti Shrutehe. The quotes from Mundaka Upanishad. As we have seen again and again, everything is Bhagavan. When that is so, if Bhagavan has eyes, what would be the eye of Bhagavan? When we are standing on the earth and looking from the earth, sun appears to be the eye of Bhagavan. Since Ravi, the sun, is his Lochana eye, he is Ravi Lochana. Generally, both sun and moon are taken as the eyes of Ishvara. The Upanishad describes him as Agnir Murdha Chakshushi Chandra Suryav. The fire in his head and the sun and moon are his eyes. In fact, even when we do the Nyasam, Lagunyasa, if you know Lagunyasa, Rudra, in Rudra Parayanam, there also, when we do the Nyasam, each Devata we identify with each part of our body. And Chandra Surya are identified as our eyes. So this sun and moon being the eyes of Bhagavan is very much talked about in they're all figurative expressions rather. If you look at Brahman, there is no question of any eyes, isn't it? Formless. But they are all figurative expressions for the purposes of our meditation. And this can be looked at in a different way also. The body is made of food, and this food is nothing but our ancestors who have gone into the earth. Thus, the one who eats food now becomes later the eaten. It's a very deep concept one needs to understand. The body is food because it is born of food and goes back to become food. Food is only a recycled product. So too, water is taken back and recycled. But Bhagavan, in the form of sun, effortlessly distills any amount of water. Ravi is the one who takes all the essence back to himself and again gives back the essence to the earth. Forms undergo change, and the rasa is the essence of the form. So recycling is a continuous process. Again, energy is recycled in the form of solar energy, hydroelectricity, and so on. Thus, the greatest recyclist is Ishvara. And Ravi stands for recycling, and Bhagavan, as the one who focuses on recycling, is Ravilochana. This is a meaning which Adi Shankara doesn't take, but Puja Swamiji gives this meaning, adds this meaning to what Adi Shankara says. Ravilochana. The next sloka. Ananto huta bhokta sukhado naigajo grajaha anirvinna sadha marshi logadishta namadbhudaha. Anantaha huda bhokta sugadaha naigajaha agrajaha anirvinnaha sadhamarshi logadishtanam adbhuda. 10 namas again. Anantaha, the limitless. Nityatvat sarvagatatvat deshakala vastu parichedat abhavat anantaha. Now coming to the Swarupa of Ishvara. He is Ananta, limitless, in terms of his Swarupa as Brahman. If Brahman were limited by time, it would imply that it was not there before and it would not be there later. And while it is there also, it would not be in the same form and it would keep changing, like all of our body, mind, sense complex, limited. Limited by time, by space, by object. Then Brahman would become Anitya. Ishvara does not have such a limitation of time because he is Nitya. Again, being the very cause of space, he is Sarvagata, all pervasive and not limited spatially. In fact, he is not located in time and space, but time and space are located in him. He is the limitless consciousness. Further, object-wise limitation is also not there. Every object is Brahman, but Brahman is not any particular object, and therefore absence of limitation by any object contributes to the limitlessness of Ishvara. Time, space, and all objects are like attributes of the limitless consciousness, not being separate from it. They are manifestations of the limitless consciousness. But in its true nature, Brahman is free from all these attributes. Hence, Ishvara is Ananta, limitless. Then Huta Bhuk, the ultimate receiver of all the offerings. Hutam Bhunakti Huta Bhuk. Earlier, when we saw this Nama, Huta Bhuk, there the word Hutam referred to the offering. Here the word Huta refers to the act of offering. See the subtle difference between the two Namas. What you offer is also Hutam. The act of offering is also Hutam. It is Ishvara who protects the ritual done with Shraddha and Bhakti by making up for all omissions and commissions and making it fruitful. He receives the oblations and gives the result. Hence, he is Hutabhuk, the protector of our offering. That's why we say at the end of the ritual, Om Tat Sat Brahmarpanam Astu. And this expression, this mantra, is the essence of Karma Yoga. Whatever I have done, I am offering to Ishvara Brahmarpanam. Essence of Karma Yoga. So by offering that, we pray and request that he make our karma complete. Whatever inadequacies were there, yasya smritya na moktya tapoyaga kriya dishu nyunam sampurnatam yati sadhyo vande tamachyutam. We offer this prayer at the end of every ritual. Whatever mistakes I have done due to poor memory, due to bad pronunciation, in all the tapo, yaga, puja that I have done, there may be lot of inadequacies. Hey Bhagavan, please overlook all those inadequacies and bless me with the fruits of this karma which I have done, results of this karma which I have done. Huta Bhuk. Then Bhokta. Bhokta, enjoyer, one meaning, protector, another meaning. Prakritim bhogyama chetanam bhunkte iti jagat palayati iti va bhokta. Bhagavan is the one who bhunakti, nourishes the jagat, keeps the scheme of things going, that is, keep all life forms going. So he is the one who nourishes all these life forms and hence called Bhokta. Or because he is the Hutabhuk, the consumer of oblations which you have seen, he is a Bhokta. Even with reference to all those who do not offer prayers, he is the one who is the real Bhokta, real enjoyer. Without Bhagavan, there is no Bhoga. When one says, I am the doer, this implies that one is a conscious being and what he enjoys is achetana, insentient. That consciousness in the conscious being is Parameshwara. So the consciousness is the enjoyer, is also Parameshwara. So he is Bhokta. Whenever we say I am a doer, we have to understand what is that I we are referring to. Because I, without consciousness, is jadam, insentient. It cannot do anything. So when I'm saying I am the doer, without realizing, I am saying that I am the consciousness, because only because of consciousness, which is Parameshwara, anybody can do anything and enjoy all the fruits of whatever they do. So the real Bhokta is Parameshwara only. That is how we have to understand this Nama. Next Nama we will see in the next class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Guruji.
Thank you.
Thank you. Namaskaram.
Namaskaram, Guruji. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Guruji. Namaskaram.
Hari Om. Namaskaram.
Thank you, Guruji. Namaste.
Thank you. Namaste. Namaste.
Guruji, this abhipraya.
Abhipraya. Yeah.
Abhipraya also means opinion, is not? What is abhipraya mean?
Yeah. Abhipraya also means opinion. Now, as I say, in Sanskrit, any word can have several meanings.
Okay.
So one has to see, here what we are doing, we are trying to understand each nama on the basis of how Adi Shankara has written his Bhashya. So in the context of this, Vishnu Sahasranamam, he has interpreted Abhipraya as what he has written in his Bhashya. But that does not mean that that's the only meaning of the word Abhipraya. It can mean different meanings, in the colloquial, in the normal context, it can just mean nothing to do with Ishvara. Abhipraya means opinion. That also can be there. Now, just like the word Surya, how he has used the word Surya, Savita, Ravi, to give different shades of meaning. So for us, the learning is, the general learning is always there. That Sanskrit, every word can be derived in different forms with different meanings. That is there in the language. That is the beauty of the language, and that enhances the dynamism of the language in terms of its usage. But then when we are studying the scriptures and all, if we study on our own and we take the meaning Abhipraya as opinion, it will not make any sense in the context of Vishnu Sahasranamam. Bhagavan is opinion. It would make. That is why we require an Adi Shankara to interpret what that means. Because the word Abhipraya is there in the Sahasranama. That cannot be changed. Isn't it? That is part of Mahabharata. Now we require a guru who will tell us what is the meaning of that word and on what basis he is interpreting that word, that both these things should be there and we must be convinced about it. So that is why we study all these scriptures with the help of Bhashyam. Otherwise, we are bound to get lost totally, We will take up the dictionary meaning which is there and then try to fit that meaning, and then we will after some time give up. It's not possible. So any scriptural study requires a guru's guidance, either direct guidance or at least in the form of, now what has happened here, we are blessed with two gurus. Adi Shankara's interpretation enhanced by Puja Swamiji's commentary, we have got the benefit of both of them. So we can apply our mind to see what exactly this means in the context of, because Vishnu Sahasranam Nama of Ishvara only, Bhagavan's Nama. So in the context of Bhagavan's Nama, what meaning we should take for this? So that is how we have to understand all these namas. Yeah.
Understood. Thank you, Guruji. Thank you very
Thank you.
much.
Hari Om. Hari Om.
Namaskaram.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Namaskaram. Thank you.
Namaskaram, Guruji.
Namaskaram. Namaskaram. Any other question or comments? Nothing else is there. We can close. Okay, I think I'll close the session. Thank you very much. See you next Sunday. Hari Om.